How long should you date before getting engaged? In today's episode, Cece and I, we're going to talk about some of the things that you can do or the length of time you should spend dating before you decided to ask the big question. So stay tuned.
Hey, Blissful friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Blissology Podcast. I am your girl, Cece, and I'm joined by my hubby. What's up, babe?
Hey everybody, this is Will, and welcome back. It's always a pleasure to have you guys back with us. If this is your first time with us, please remember to subscribe and hit on that notification bell so you can be notified when we put out these videos. This is a weekly podcast, and in this podcast, we talk about
love, life, family, relationships, real estate. As you guys know, before we jump into the topic of the day, we like to go into our blissful moment. So what's going on, babe? What's your blissful moment?
I don't know.
My hair feels poofy.
It almost seems like it's the same thing as last week. It's been a good week.
That's good.
Yeah, that's kind of it. I'm here, I'm alive, and I'm kicking.
I'm pumped up.
She's pumped up. Yeah.
Yes,
you've
I'm
had
pumped up.
a good week so far.
I'm pumped up, listen.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's been a good week.
I wish you could join me in this movement.
Tony Robbins.
Yes.
Made it a good week for you.
Yes.
See, while she's getting good stuff from Tony Robbins, I'm getting, I don't know.
You're getting my energy. But it's not over. It's not over. It ends Sunday. So Sunday it ends. Y'all, it's been going on since Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like
4 days.
12 hours event.
Thursday night it ran until 11 o'clock.
Yeah. And guess what? I remember I broke, what do you call it again?
A piece of wood?
Yes.
The thing was like
it don't matter. Almost what? It doesn't matter. Not everyone were able to do it. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying. I put my arm in it, my hand, and Yeah. So it's the energy. And I think and I truly feel like I'm still pumped up. I truly feel like it's like
you have to be. It's Tony Robbins. How could
energy.
you not be
It's the
pumped up,
energy. And my voice is kind of like in and out because I was screaming a lot on Friday night. It was a lot of screaming, a lot of like, feel yourself and be in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like it's pulling a brand new or the CC. It's like when you get a dose of something that's really good, you want more of it. So that's what it is right now.
Okay. I guess I'm going to have to get me some Tony.
Well, I'm giving you my energy right now.
Yes, you are.
So I would say invest in yourself, okay? As business owners, as parents, as whatever you do, I truly feel like it's important, especially this year, something that I did say I want to invest in myself a lot. In my mind, I need that. I need that dose of, breakthrough. So I truly feel like it's important. So I've been getting Tony Robbins since January. I did 5 or 6 days, and now we back at it again. And this time it was like, for a cost. And it's going to come back again in August. Mm-hmm. So hopefully be able to sign up for the one in August. So it's great. I feel life. I feel hot. I feel hot. Yeah, I feel really hot. And I'm all pumped up. I really feel like my energy inside is like...
It's been loud in the house lately.
Yeah. And I'm surprised my neighbor didn't knock on the door yesterday on Friday night.
They kind of know you're nuts. So they're like, okay, yeah, it's that lady again. Husband's out. She's going nuts,
And I'm trying to get my girls to join because, you got to be on camera. You got to turn your camera on. And so they can see your kids and you to be like, it's a different feeling when the camera is on. They can see you pumped up and you feel the energy Mm-hmm. Like on Thursday, I couldn't get my camera on because something was going on with my Mac laptop, but
I fixed it.
But my husband fixed it. My IT man fixed it,
I didn't get paid.
So yes, get you some dose of Y'all know what it is.
Yeah, whatever you do to get yourself pumped up, get yourself, do it.
Yeah, I get Tony
She
Robbins.
finds it in Tony Robbins. Me, I don't know.
And you know, here's the thing before I move on to the topic. Tony Robbins, for me, a couple of years ago, when my husband introduced me to Tony Robbins, and I was like, I don't know. I don't like his voice. It's not my kind of guy to listen to, because I listen to,
Pastor Stanley, who's
Tony Robbins, not a preacher. I listen to Les Brown, I listen to other ones. But when my husband was like, hey, I truly feel like, you might, because he'll send me like those videos. It's how we motivate each other. Like whatever I come across, I listen to, I forward it to him and he forwarded it to me. And if it feels like something that can add value to our business or to our life, we just share with each other. So I was like, I don't know. But then
even the session that you just took in January, I found and said, I'm gonna sign you up for
and you did. And I was like, and I moved past and I moved beyond the voice. And I think it's a message for me. It's like, what it's telling me now, it's like I want to listen to it more. I don't really hear the voice, the grouchy voice anymore. It's more like, feed my soul, feed me more of what I need to do for my life to be a better person, a better wife, a better business owner, a better servant.
So I get a new CC after Sunday and after tomorrow.
You already got
Sunday
her.
Like it's that.
You
She's
already
gonna be
got
a
her.
brand new person.
Listen, and if you see my attitude change, blame it on Tony Robbins, okay? I'm just letting you know right now.
Anyway, let's get into the topic of the day before she spent the whole podcast talking about Tony Robbins.
And I will talk about it the whole podcast.
So, no, this podcast today is not about Tony Robbins. It's about how long should you date before getting engaged.
How long did we date?
Before we got engaged? Mm-hmm. I don't
I
recall.
think
I wasn't counting.
We dated
It
for...
was like 3 or 4 years. Let's see. We met in
we dated for like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then my mom was like, what is he doing?
Yeah, I'm like, what's this guy doing?
My mom was like, typically, we don't spend that long. We don't spend that much
Your parents
time.
didn't get engaged. Their parents
they
got
did.
together and says,
My
okay,
parents-
we want them to get married.
You know my parents' story, right?
Your dad was a player.
The amount of love letters my dad was like getting through my uncle to my mother. Because he got to get through the brother, then the mom, then the girlfriend.
I don't know.
My mom had her, because my grandma raised her very tight. So yes. So
there were layers for you.
There were layers because my dad wasn't like.
Yeah, but in our case, I think we dated for like 2.5, 3 years, give or take, before.
I think 3 years.
Before your parents kind of said, "Hey,
yes,
what are you doing?"
We got engaged in 2009.
Was it 2009?
And then we got married 2010.
Yeah. Oh yes, we did get married. No,
we got engaged.
I don't remember. But
I do.
The question of how long should it take? It's a question that comes up in everyone's mind who gets together.
Yes, and we did come across the this stats online, right?
Yeah,
that went over the percentage and all that. You want to break it down to the peoples?
Yeah, take this as 1 in 5 every 5 people.
According to the stats, I don't remember which website it was.
So 1 in 5 people says couples should generally date for 12 to 18 months. So we're looking at about a year to 2 years.
Yeah, a year, 2 years.
Before getting engaged. And getting engaged quickly seems to be, I think it's a trend these days, because I could
it's
count
more like trending for celebrity couples.
There's people, listen, it's news when they get engaged, it's news when they get married, and it's good publicity for their brand.
When they get divorced too.
Listen, there's people likes to be in the spotlight, and sometimes I think they do things because it gives them publicity.
Yeah, and if I could remember, there's the singer Ariana Grande and what's his name, the comedian Pete Davidson, who recently, I think they recently announced their engagement after a few weeks of dating, right? And you have one more. You have Justin Bieber.
What did he do?
I think he got engaged pretty quick too with the model. So yes, I do follow pop culture because I want to be popped. I want to be like, up to date with the culture. So I think it's important.
I don't.
But in our culture though,
Yeah.
if we want to take it back a little bit, back in our culture, especially if you're Christian, you in church, right? It doesn't work in our culture. Like if I just met you and a couple months later we engage.
It's not one of those things that's acceptable. They expect you to kind of
get to know the person. Yeah.
But I've known some people that actually said, forget it.
Yeah.
We're good, and then we move on. But, it's...
Each couple is different.
Each couple is different.
Yeah.
Depending on age, the circumstances.
Maturity.
Yes. But I think a reasonable amount of time, I think the 3-year mark.
Yes, I agree. 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, because, listen, if you say you're going to marry someone and you're going... Because once you engage, face it, that's you saying that, okay, I'm committed, we're going to get married. If you're gonna marry someone, I think it's reasonable to say that I'm gonna spend enough time with you for me to understand you. See if I can get used to your bad habits.
Yes.
Your craziness that sometimes I may have. We all have it in ourselves. We all have things that's unusual.
That pop in every now and then. We're like, ooh.
Yeah, we all have craziness in ourselves. So. And if I want to say, hey, I'm going to stay with you for the rest of my life, I need to know what those are.
Yes.
So I can make a decision. Can I live with those? Or should I move on?
Period. So, and 3 months, 6 months is not enough. A year is not enough. I don't care how long unless if we were like in high school or college and we kind of like hang out, we really know each other's personality. Right?
Yeah, but that wouldn't be like I wouldn't put those in the categories where you say you dated for 2 months. Because if you've known this person since high school and college, you've known this person. You may have been indirectly dating.
Well, we hang out. We're like on Friday night and so watch a movie, but we're not dating. We're just like friends.
Yes.
And then you happen to like, hey, I want to marry you. Okay.
Listen, the time you spend as friend can kind of make up for maybe the lack of time you didn't spend dating each other. Because, hey, dating, what it means? It means getting to know this person. If you're friend with this person already, you already know, well, not intimately.
Yeah, there we go. I was going to say.
There's certain things you don't do with friends.
Yes.
Or maybe depends on the type of friends they are.
Friends with benefits.
I'm not going to say. I'm just saying depends on the types of friendship you have.
Yes. And I think sometimes, y'all, it's, you really need to take the time to get to know the person. Before you know it, they're going to have like things coming out of the closet. I had this kid back home. I have a 16-year-old. You're like, what? But I'm only 25.
Yeah. And yes, because part of the reason it's important to spend some time, because you got to give yourself and the other person time to really learn about all these little things that we all have in our lives, the unusual family members, the past girlfriends or baby mamas, whoever they may be.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bad habits.
Yes.
Learn about your credit score, your spending habits. Make sure that all these things are important.
Because
when you marry someone, you marry all that stuff too. So
yes,
it's good to know that they
before
exist.
you get engaged.
Yeah. Before
you get engaged to someone, even though you go to church with that person, doesn't mean you really know that person to be like, okay, I'm going to get engaged within the next year or 6 months. I think it's important for you to like spend time. Like, we spent 3 years. And, it seems like modern society nowadays, people just like, hey, I got a man or I got a girl. So, and sometimes you just want to ask yourself this question. Is 6 months of dating too soon to get engaged, right? We already answered that question in a way.
And yes, it's answered. But one thing I think that's very important, we all have to look at, the type of relationship you have with this person. Because I'll tell you, there's some people that know that, hey, that's the right person from the get-go. They see you, They're like, yes,
Yeah.
you are it.
Married at first sight.
I don't know about married. That's for
Love
TV.
at first sight.
Listen, there are people that click right from the get-go.
Did we click right from the get-go, babe?
No, I had to learn, I had to observe you. Well, I did like you from the get-go, but I didn't know that I could
Handle me.
I could handle you.
There we go. That was so much for him.
Yeah, but there are people that knows that they click right, especially say if you're mature, say if you're in your late 30s, you've had experience before, you know what you're looking for. You come across someone who's just as experienced as you are.
Yeah.
They know what they're looking for. Yes, you can get married in a week.
Oh, okay.
Why waste time if you already know?
Yeah.
But that's not the norm. It's not always the case that someone who's maybe up in age meets someone who's up in age and they're both ready to go and they know what they want.
Or they're like, we are in our late years, so we don't have time to play. Let's just, because I've seen them couples, the elderly couples who, get with their Bengal elderly friends. And before you know it, it's like...
Well, there's people sometimes that don't get married. They just become friends and they hang out.
It's like a wedding. Oh, yeah, that's my boyfriend. That's my fiance.
Listen, as long as we're alive...
We have to still live life.
Yes, we have to still live life.
Yes.
And we find the older we get, the less time we have to do some of these things that sometimes insignificant. Now, if you're young, you're just learning. Yes, take your time. But if you've had experience... Why waste the time? Because you already know what you want.
Yeah, but I still feel like you gotta get to know the person. Because what happened to if you had like 3 or 4?
How many kids do you have?
Okay, here's the thing.
Do you have a bank account? Do I like you?
Or how about if we're like in our elderly age? Y'all know what I meant by that.
Yeah.
Let's just stay friends. We hang out, we go have dinner, you drop me home, we smoothies, and then we go home, and that's about it.
And many people, that's kind of how they keep their relationship.
But I don't think you don't get married or get engaged.
If you have money you want to leave behind, you want to make sure that you have someone.
Your kids.
Listen, if you don't have any children, and you're sitting on a pile of cash,
create a charity.
Marry someone. Yes, together you can choose which charity. But listen, I'm talking about for those who's young.
Yes.
And getting into this.
Yes.
It's not going to be the case where you have tons of experience that you're bringing in and you already know what you want. Because you're at 20, even at 30, you're still figuring out what it is that you want out of this life.
Right. And it's so true.
And believe me, when you're with someone, sometimes what you think you want is very different.
Yes.
Than when you're by yourself, than when you are with someone.
Yeah.
So as you figure this out, that's why it's important to take time, because at the end of the day, and research have shown that people that really spend the time learning about each other tend to stay together longer. It's no guarantee that things may not go wrong, because things can go wrong. It doesn't matter how long you stay with this, but the likelihood of them staying together for life is a lot greater if they spend more time learning.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of value in it. Now, listen, of course, every couple is different.
It's different.
There's no hard and fast rule for when you should get engaged.
Right.
Some people might take longer to make sure they're really ready for such a big step, because it is a big step.
Yeah, and I truly feel like it's about, it's all about what works for you and for your partner.
Yes.
Right? Because in reality, it's going to come down to, what do you like? What do you want? And I truly feel like you would have to have time to learn about each other. Because it's a lot to learn about another human being. Like, it's like, I've never met you before. And now we are in baby phase, Like, we got to date to know each other.
Yeah. And know each other in every possible way.
Okay. And
listen, I would not want to be surprised on the day of the wedding that what I thought is not. So when we say learn, you got to learn and then you wouldn't want to be surprised on the day of the wedding and what you thought was, and when you realize is actually not.
Yes.
No one wants that surprise.
Right.
So learn about each other in every possible ways. Now we're talking about physical, we're talking about emotional.
Emotional is a big thing.
Baggages.
Ooh, emotional is a big thing. Major thing.
Yeah. Some of us have our pasts that we just can't leave behind.
That we carry wherever we go.
And we'll have to assess, do I want to deal with this crappy past this person has that will just not stay out of it? Yes. So learning about each other is not just learning about your behaviors, but there's a lot of things that goes into who we are as people.
Yeah.
And sometimes only time can give you a chance to learn about these things, you know? Learn to see this person waking up in the morning and how they act. And
that's
what they look like.
If you guys live together.
Well, you should try living together. I mean, take trips together where you go places where you can spend nights together.
We didn't do that.
I wanted to do that.
Yes, my parents would not. Like I said, there's culture that would not. Even I think in American culture too. There's some strict parents who would not let their kids go on.
My kids will not be going out.
There we go. Because, y'all, we went on this cruise.
Yeah.
Was it a cruise or we went on?
No, we went to Universal Studio. We had to go really early and then come back the same day.
Oh, I was going to talk about the second time. We went to Orlando. We had to buddy with my brother, with his girlfriend at the time, who's now his wife. My sister-in-law, we had to really.
I know your brother was watching me.
He sure was.
He's like, man.
And that's the only way we could stay out for another day. Otherwise, my dad would not. My mom, I think she's the hardest too. She wouldn't let us sleep out, technically.
Yeah. And parents are like this.
And we had to sleep in the same room. My sister-in-law, we had to.
I don't remember where we slept.
I don't remember.
But I know nothing happened.
That's right.
Some should have happened.
Or
anyway, but get to know the person. And yes, if you're dealing with someone where parents are strict and you can't do certain things, hey, respect that.
Yes, that says a lot too about the parents.
That's important.
Yes.
But yeah, learn as much as you can. And some of us learn faster. Some of us can learn in a year. And if in a year you've learned all you think you've learned, to actually go to the next step, yes. If it takes you 5 years to learn, which is a very long time, by the way, but if it takes you 5 years to learn what you need to learn, then once you learn, now 5 years.
Maybe you're not a fast learner.
If you're not a fast learner, but if you're seeing someone like her and her parents, 5 years will be impossible, because starting on year 2.5. Year 3, you start wondering what's your intentions.
Yes. Yes.
What are you going to do? But however long it takes you and your partner to learn about each other to take the next step, do it. Because at the end of the day, it'll be good for your relationship. It'll be good for you for the rest of your life. So
yes,
take the time.
Yes. And I think sometimes taking the time to know the person, to learn the person, whether if it's 3 or 4 years. And I truly feel like it would preventing, divorce, which you guys know it's like really, really hot nowadays. Right? I really feel like because it's so hot nowadays, because people are not giving they're not giving their relationship enough time to get to know the other person. So therefore, divorce happen. Right? And y'all seeing it on social media. There's a lot of them on social media that date today and get married tomorrow. And before you know it, day 3, they got a divorce. I mean,
But some of these people do things for the sake of doing things. Sometimes there's no real connection between them. It's because either pressure that their friends are doing it and they feel like, it's my time to do it now, so I can show that I'm just as good as they are. Yes. And that's why I say, if you're going to make a decision to actually propose to someone that you're with, don't do it because of pressures from friends, from family members. Yes, parents may be asking what your intentions, but if you're not at that stage yet, don't do it. Yes. For reasons other than yours and the person that you're with.
Yes. And it's always good to be honest. If you date this girl for 3 or 4 years and they ask you what are your intentions, maybe I don't have maybe I'm not there financially. Maybe I need to finish this before I make this huge commitment to engage to your daughter or your son, right? Because I think sometimes you got to be honest. Don't let fear get in the way of you say, you know what? I'm not ready. I know we've been together for this amount of time, but I'm just not ready because, I don't have the money yet to support your daughter, because your daughter is expensive. Pretty much. And I truly feel like if you say that, that will save you, the questions, the pressure. And I think it's a good thing too.
That's a good thing. It is a good thing. And imagine what could happen if you take this step when you're not ready.
Right.
You're just setting yourself up to not succeed in that relationship.
Yeah.
Because if you go at it when you don't already have things in place. Now, I know there's no such thing as I'm fully ready.
Right.
But if I'm still living at home, I have no money in my bank account, I barely own a car. Mm-hmm. How do I go and support, commit to someone to marry them when I don't have anything ready that says, okay, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Right. And I think every father should do this. When a guy says they're going to marry your daughter, you need to set a meeting, you and him.
Okay.
Tell him to bring his bank statements,
his credit report,
his credit reports, his criminal background record,
his W-2.
Yes, the W-2s, you need that.
Yes.
Because I would do that. And listen, if you really want to marry my daughter, you better bring me those things. Because I need to know that, hey.
The pay stub.
I need to know that my daughter's not going to be running back to me in a couple of weeks saying, Dad, we're having issues. No. So, yeah, you need to get yourself psychologically evaluated and bring me all that report and we'll sit and we'll have a conversation. Because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you fit.
Get your pre-approval.
Well, yes. Hey.
Like I'm pre-approving you before you get with my daughter.
In fact, you should not propose to my daughter until I do all of these
Until
things.
I pre-approve you. Right?
But it's important. And being ready to take that step.
I like that. It was good.
It's crucial because
I wish my dad would have.
Yeah, if your dad done that, I had my stuff.
You would have passed. You would have passed.
I had my stuff together.
Yes, and I think it should be. Always. It shouldn't just be on the guy's side. I think it should also be on the girl's side too.
Yeah,
like
with the girl. Listen. Well, I don't have boys, so I know that I'm not good. But if I had boys and some girls, I need to take a moment to really observe you, not while you're at my house hanging out. No, I'll find you in your natural environment to see how you behave.
So you're basically stalking this girl.
Yes. There's some crazy girls out there.
So would you want like credit report, W-2s, bank statement as well?
Credit report I wouldn't need because, listen, some women are nuts. They spend like there's no tomorrow.
Well, what if they're in high school? I mean, what if they're in college?
Yes. At least they should have good credits. If you're in college, you have messed up credit, you have problems. If you're coming up from a good family, there's a number of ways that your parents can make sure you have good credits. Put them on. Now, if your parents have bad credit, that's even worse. That means they're not teaching you good stuff. But your parents can put you on a card. They can advise you. The moment that I turned 18, I got my first credit cards because I needed to make sure that I can get my stuff.
I didn't get mine until I married this man.
You didn't need it. Well, hey, listen, you didn't come in from an environment that really encouraged this. And you didn't know. But now that we know these things are important, and I know how much that helped me by taking these steps early on.
Right.
So, yes, my kids will have, by the time they turn 18, yes, they'll have their credits together.
Yes.
So if a guy's going to come and try to get with them, you better be better than they are.
Yeah, you better be in the 800 credit score, okay? And you better be banking, all right?
Yeah, so,
and you better go to Princeton University or Harvard.
I'm not going that route, but what I'll say is,
I am.
When you think you are ready to take that step, make sure that you are, and only do it because you feel like it's the best thing for you and the person that you're with. If it's anybody else saying that you should, or it's about time, it's been so long, tell them to go mind their business. I'll tell you, when you take that step and you make that commitment and you finally tie the knot, it's only you and that person and no one else. All these people that wanted you to get married, you don't see them. In fact, there are many of them, they're waiting to hear when things are not going well so they can start going around and gossip.
Oh my God, that is so true.
That's right. It's never good to do anything for anyone, especially when it comes to making this major commitment.
Yes.
Do it for you.
Yes. And when you're ready.
Yeah. That's
it. Don't let the pressure from society, don't let the pressure from church. Sometimes I know church can be very pressured. I've been dating for this amount of time. When is the wedding? Or when are you getting engaged to this girl? Or to this? Yeah, always to this girl. Right? Because I know how the world can be. And I know how, how pressured people can really put a lot of pressure on you to do things when you know you're not ready. But you just want to do it because you want to shut them off. Right? So I truly feel like it's important for you to know when that time is right. That time is right. And that's it.
Yeah. So there's no set time to decide to get engaged to someone.
Yeah.
You decide what your time is and when you're ready to do this with your partner.
Yes.
It could be 10 months. It could be 5 years.
Yes.
It could be never.
Yes. I want to say this before we wrap it up. And you could be like financially ready, but then you're not ready to make that big step, right? You can have all your money, you can have everything, all the cash, all the money, good credit. But that big step to propose to this girl, it's like, man, it's such a heavy decision to make, right? Because I know some people that may have a lot of money, but then they just don't. It's hard for them to make that, to engage with this person because they feel like they're not ready and they feel like, hey, it's not enough time. But then the girl may feel like, all right, we're ready. You have the money, you have everything. So let's do this.
These things can take a number of different turns. But one thing that's important is that make sure that it's the step you're ready and you want to take.
Yes.
Yes, pressure can come from the person that you're dating. They think you have it together.
Yep.
And if you don't have it together, it's okay to say, you know what? I don't. I'd say this. Some of us are bad at making decisions. Some of us are paralyzed when it comes to decide things. If you've got everything together and you love this girl, don't just sit around thinking, geez, what do I do? No. Be a man and take the step. So don't let your inability to make decisions prevent you from committing to the person that you really and truly love. So yes, sometimes some of us may need a nudge. But if you need a nudge, take that nudge and make that decision and go with this person, because at the end of the day, it's for your own happiness. It's for your own good.
That's right.
And why not? So how long should it take? I don't know. You decide that. It's your life. It's your life. It's your relationship. However long it takes, do what you need to do. So we appreciate you guys listening to our podcast on how long should it take before getting engaged. And clearly, there's no set time. It's up to you. So please like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell icon so you can be notified when we put out these videos. I hope you enjoyed this episode talking about how long should it take before you get engaged.
Yeah.
If any one of you guys out there thinking about engaging your woman, you should do it.
Watch this first before you get engaged.
Hey guys, again, we appreciate you. Thank you very much. And we will see you next Saturday. Peace.
Bye.